What is up, bros and broettes? I am Inkslasher, and today we have a little bit more of a serious video. We're going to tone the energy down a little bit. Sorry, Donald Trump. I know you like that high energy. Today, it's going to get toned down a little bit. Today, we're just talking about something serious, and it's the truth about Black Ops 3 supply drops. And this is thanks to a subscriber, a guy who's followed me on Twitter for a very long time, I think since the beginning of Advanced Warfare, and he sent me an article on Reddit. And basically what this article is it's from a Treyarch employee, friend, or someone that is just in the close-knit circle of Treyarch employees, and he's talking out against, or speaking out against these supply drops and what really happened behind these supply drops. And it's actually one hell of a story. It's like I'm watching House of Cards right now, and it reminds me of some of the shit going on in that show, because it is absolutely insane. And for those of you who don't know the truth about these supply drops, you're going to be amazed by what's going on behind the scenes at Treyarch, and I really can't wait to get into this article. So I want as many people to see this video as possible. I know a lot of people don't have the patience to read long articles, so I'm going to basically not read the whole thing, but summarize it and explain to you what is exactly going on behind the scenes. So if you could share this video, maybe post it on your favorite subreddit, post it on a friend's Facebook who may be interested by this, because these are pay to win. This article basically describes how Activision wants these supply drops to be pay to win because it's more profitable for them. And we're gonna go through all of this throughout the article. So let's get into it. Like I said, if you could like the video, share it with a friend, just help it get out there so more and more people can see this, because honestly, this is ridiculous. And like I said, I'm trying not to joke around about this thing. I'm cracking a few jokes here and there, but seriously, this is a big deal. So let's get into this article and I can start explaining to you what this is. As far as the validity of this article, a month ago I would have told you this article was 100% bullshit. This article was written 1 month ago and said that the MP40 was coming to this game in supply drops, and it's going to happen. 1 month later, we're sitting here, MP40 is out in supply drops. They are 100% correct. So I would say they have a pretty good track record, and this is an article we can trust. This article is down in the description if you want to read it for yourself. This article starts out by the person, he or she, explaining that they don't necessarily have a job title at Treyarch or Activision. They are just trying to hide their identity, but they do say that they know everything that's going on behind the scenes with Treyarch and Activision. They know everything coming down the pipeline and everything that's gone on in the past 2 years. After they talk about their credentials, basically, they get into how supply drops became a part of Call of Duty and why they became a part of Call of Duty. This goes back to Advanced Warfare, and they explained why they put them in the game. They explained that back in Call of Duty Ghost, player retention was an all-time low after the second DLC. Sledgehammer Games wanted to implement something in the game where they could hold player retention, keep them nice and strung into the game, keep them playing. Things in other games like loot, so something like Diablo, or if you look at a recent game, The Division, has these different random loot drops that makes you want to play more and just hopefully you get lucky. Supply drops were designed exactly like that, so there was a percentage of luck that made you want to keep playing to unlock these supply drops and unlock the different weapon variants in the game. This was all designed to increase player retention. After they realized how much of a success this was after the regular supply drops, in December 2014, Activision came down to Treyarch, citing CSGO cases as an example, saying, we want this in the game, we want to make money off of this thing. Not only do we want player retention, we want some dollar bills in our pocket. This is how advanced supply drops began, and that's how supply drops are now implemented into Black Ops 3. The writer of the article then goes on to explain that they have more contacts at Treyarch than Sledgehammer Games, so don't know a few of the behind the scenes things, like why supply credits were never implemented, and other things like why the system was never more fair to do with the supply drops. They said that they have more contacts at Treyarch, and then they go into extreme depth with how the DLC was supposed to work going into Black Ops 3. They explained that the game was almost 100% complete going into July, so this summer. They say that supply drops were never a part of the game until July. Basically what happened is one of the head honchos at Activision came down to Treyarch and said, hey now, we're not going to make enough money off of your DLC plan, so what we're going to do, we want you to put supply drops in the game, and we want you to charge people for them. We made so much money in Advanced Warfare that now we want to see these bad boys in Black Ops 3 to make us money throughout the year instead of just certain times throughout the year when you drop DLC. So at this point, this may be when you get very mad. This is when I get very mad with the article. So the writer then goes on to explain that Treyarch wanted none of this. One of the biggest people talking out against it, David Vonderhaar, the person that you're giving shit on Twitter, is the person that tried to stand up for you to make this game not pay to win. So try to hold back on giving him shit and maybe give Activision some shit, because it seems like they're more the people behind this. So they go on to explain Treyarch wanted none of this. They already had their game almost 100% created. They knew their DLC plan, when they were going to release it, how they were going to release it, and what was going to be in it. Activision comes in and says, no, you have to do this, it'll make more money for us. One of the biggest people arguing it, their biggest defense was, hey, like, we have this big thing, zombies, we're going to try to make money off of it this way. They said, no, we want you to make microtransactions also work in zombies. So not only is it only in multiplayer now, like in Sledgehammer's game, Advanced Warfare, it's now also in zombies. Finally, Treyarch talks Activision down to say, you know what, it's going to be cosmetic items only. People will be outraged just like they were in Advanced Warfare if it's game-changing material, so we're just going to make everything cosmetic. Activision agrees to this. 3 weeks pass after COD points were released, after you could finally buy these supply drops. Activision comes back down to Treyarch. Activision says, you know what, this is a great idea, it's working, it's making us some money, but not nearly as much as Advanced Warfare supply drops. In fact, you guys are getting more players, but supply drops sold 5 times as much in the same period of time on Advanced Warfare as it's doing currently in Black Ops 3. They blamed it completely on the fact that there is gameplay changing items in the supply drops in Advanced Warfare that simply just aren't there in Black Ops 3. So, they say, screw what we agreed to, you're now going to put game-changing items into Black Ops 3 supply drops. They then go on to say that there was a plan to release the MX Grand, a pistol, and an MP40 coming out in DLC packs. Yes, you were going to get these items with the season pack, with the DLC packs, and no, now you have to get lucky and hopefully get them in supply drops. So if at this point you're saying this article's bullshit, they're just taking everything we know, let me remind you, this article was written a month ago, a month before the MP40 even came out in supply drops. They had it right a month ago, not now, a month ago. And the fact that they got this 100% right, I don't know whether the pistol they're talking about is the Marshall 16. They did write in the article that the pistol they're talking about is purposely made to be bad, so I'm not sure if that's the one or there's another one that will be coming out later, but this is what they have said so far in this article. The article then goes on. The person writing basically states, this is not Treyarch's fault. I'm sorry if we pissed you off, but we did all we could. We tried our best. The people upstairs are the one that made the final call on this. They say not to be mad at Treyarch, or more specifically David Vonderhaar, because he was the biggest proponent against this. He is the one that stood up against this, and he's simply not allowed to say anything. Apparently, when these first weapons, like the MX Grand, were first dropped, he purposely went on vacation that week so he could stay away from all the hate he knew he was going to get about this. He knew exactly what was going to happen. He tried to stand up for it, and he still ends up taking all the shit because of what Activision has created on what they wanted in their game, simply to make more money. The article says that all of the employees working at Treyarch don't make any bonuses off of whatever they put into these supply drops. They simply make a salary like any other employee in the world. The people making the money off of this are the Activision owners, the high-end CEOs, and the shareholders in the company. They're the ones making the money, not the employees. So don't be mad at the employees, be mad at Activision. This hits home to me. The fact that these weapons were going to be coming out in DLC, they were going to be free if you had the season pass, like they should be, and now they're not, sucks. Sucks really damn bad. The fact that people have to spend hundreds of dollars to still not get these weapons on top of a $60 to $80 game, sometimes more depending on where you live, money on top of that to get weapons you might not even get, is horrible. and the fact that it wasn't even going to be in this game to begin with really yanks my chain. That's my thoughts on it. That is pretty much all the article says, except for what's going on in the future. So I'm going to leave my opinion off with that. I'll read to you what is going on in the future, but before I get into that, if you could leave a like rating on this video, it would be super greatly appreciated. It would help more and more people see the truth about these supply drops. If you could share it on Reddit, on Twitter, on Facebook, wherever you like to share media, that would be fantastic. Like I said, the more people that see the truth about this, the better. Who knows? I may even get asked to take down this video. Stranger things have happened. But I hope you guys enjoyed. I'm going to read the end of this article, but thanks for watching. So the article goes on and explains that as soon as the MX Grand and other game-changing loot was released into supply drops, the sales skyrocketed. The Activision CEOs were correct, and as soon as game-changing items were placed in supply drops, sales went through the roof. Let me remind you, this article was written over a month ago. They said the next plans for weapons coming to supply drops was the MP40. That is now released. They said there is supposed to be 2 new specialists coming out that were originally supposed to be purchased separately. They now don't know whether they're going to be coming out in supply drops or purchased separately. The outrage would be huge if it was only in supply drops. That's my opinion. It doesn't say that in the article. That's just my opinion. It also says weapon skins were supposed to come to the game. So a weapon like the Kuda was going to have a camo that made it look like the MP5. The KN-44 was going to have a camo that made it look like the AK-47. Now the article says don't be shocked when these weapons are inevitably released separately with different stats entirely. So originally we were supposed to get skins to make your weapons look different. Now we are getting different weapons altogether. Other things it says may come out are HUD skins, so to make your overlay look a little bit different. Calling cards, camos, emblems, and textures, we already got that stuff. Announcer packs. So what this would be is a different announcer. So when it says enemy is taking Bravo, it would be a different person saying that. It also says that more content behind a microtransaction paywall is likely to come. What that means, I don't know. I assume that means the different types of supply drops we've been getting through the past few weekends, but I'm not sure about that. But overall, what does this mean and what can we do about it? Like I said earlier, give shit to the right people. Remember, this was Activision decision and not David Vonderhaar. I know the right thing to say is don't spend your money on these things, but the truth is it's the only way to get these weapons, and sometimes it's very, very tempting to. That is the reason why they did this in the first place, and let's be honest, it's frickin' working. All you can really do to share this story is check out the link I put in the description of the actual article itself, give it an upvote on Reddit, and share this video. If you have any way to share a video, please do so. I'd really like as many people to see this as possible, because it is a big issue, especially with a new Call of Duty game right around the corner. It's almost inevitable at this point for supply drops also to be in that game with game-changing content inside of them. So if you could please like the video, share it with someone, it'd be really, really greatly appreciated. My Twitter is in the description. If you have anything to say to me about this, that's probably the best place to do so. I will try to read any comment on this video and any tweet sent at me. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and until next time, guys, peace out.
Listen.